बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरी उन तमाम दोस्तों से गुजारिश है कि जिन्होंने अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है वो चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आने वाली तमाम वीडियोस आप तक पहुंच सके। थैंक यू।
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The parliament elected in 2018 has come to an end, but despite not lasting longer than its predecessors, it seemed to stretch on full stop. The caretaker prime minister is in place, a dark horse for sure, full stop. A senator from the Balochistan Awami Party, he has announced stepping down from the party as well as the upper house, a positive move indeed, full stop. His nomination has been widely welcomed, full stop. How much of this is due to Anwarul Haq Kakad's affability and how much due to the current mood where few are willing to question the choice of those who matter is hard to tell, full stop. But the reception aside, there are questions about the selection process, full stop. Politicians of the former government are whispering or saying out loud how they were kept in the dark about the dark horse on whom the spotlight was switched on last Saturday, full stop. First came the admission of Khurshid Shah, who told the media his party did not know about Kakad, full stop, and how he may not have been a good choice, full stop. However, his words were followed by a statement from Shazia Murray, dispelling the impression of the PPP having any reservations, full stop. Since then, Akhtar Mangal has issued a strongly worded letter on the matter, full stop. New paragraph. Be that as it may, the story of how Anwar Kakad was shortlisted and then chosen is still to be told. But this is Pakistan, and few of us can resist telling a good story, full stop. It is bound to come out sooner rather than later, full stop. In the meantime, the rest of us will keep wondering about the details, full stop. After all, Raja Riaz was going to be the key man in making the decision, as many had been predicting, so did Shehbaz Sharif go rogue, question mark. Not rogue on those he is accused of being close to, but his own family members, question mark. Or was it simply a matter of the family accepting the inevitable, question mark? As someone pointed out, once all the legislation was done, there was little leverage the PMLN enjoyed, full stop. In other words, even if Nawaz Sharif wanted Ishaq Dar as caretaker prime minister, there was little he could do to insist his choice be accepted, full stop. In case of a deadlock, the decision would have ended up with the ECP, and their wavelength is aligned with the stars that shine near the old airport of the twin cities, full stop. New paragraph. But while we await the details, there are some news stories about BAP from recent days, which are intriguing to say the least, full stop. One was the random and rather short news story about Abdul Qaddus Bazinjo having written a letter to Asif Ali Zardari, expressing his regret at having deciding against joining the PPP, full stop. This news came in the last week of July, full stop. No outlet provided details on what this meant for the other BAP politicians who had joined PPP earlier in the year, full stop. Shortly after came the news of the Jam Kamal group in the BAP meeting the Prime Minister with a view to joining the PMLN, full stop. The delegation included the caretaker Prime Minister, but again, the news disappeared as quickly as it appeared, and there were few details on what the final decision was, full stop. New para. Without any information from any Zarae, all one can assume is the efforts to push some in Balochistan to the PPP had become half-halted, if not been dropped altogether, and that some winds may also have begun to blow towards the PMLN, full stop. New paragraph. If this had some bearing on the decision of the new caretaker Prime Minister, we may just find out soon enough, full stop. Once we do, we shall also find out why the PMLN is stoically quiet, while the PPP is not, full stop. Mangel's letter is perhaps not all that important in the context of the politics of allies, full stop. New para. However, it does point to something more pervasive if we want to give it importance, how this appointment will be viewed in the home province, full stop. The caretaker Prime Minister may not be in a position to assuage any of the discontent in Balochistan by his claim to the highest officer in theory in the country, full stop. But then, this is not a serious concern if elections are held in time, full stop. The caretaker Prime Minister is, after all, not there to hold state and society together, full stop. His or her job is to hold elections and go home, full stop. But in case he stays on a law Punjab and KP, his personal reputation will come under strain, full stop. Whether that is a cost too heavy for the Prime Minister is hard to say. The past 5 years show no politician or party has found the price of power too high to pay, full stop. Will Kakad be the exception that proves the rule, question mark? Moving beyond, it is worrying that everyone expects a delay in elections, full stop. No one thinks elections within 3 months are a possibility, while some hope they will take place within 6, full stop. A delay of more than 6 months is not in the realm of the impossible, even though the variables are so many that few can be sure of this eventuality, full stop. New paragraph. Herein lies the rub, full stop. If one of the reasons for the delay is the PTP's popularity, a second, more important one is of economic reform, full stop. If elections are delayed, some of the truly difficult decisions will have to be taken under the caretaker setup, full stop. This may range from quick privatization to raise some cash, as well as expanding the tax base and slash or reducing subsidies or cutting expenses, full stop. Each one of these solutions will lead to social costs, lobbies or sectors will be hurt, and state employed people will be let go, full stop. There will be a backlash, which will add to existing socio-economic problems as well as the worsening security situation, full stop. New para, can Kakar Sahib be the face of these decisions, question mark? Will his cabinet bear the burden, question mark? I am reminded of my early years in journalism when Pervez Musharraf came in promising change but backed down soon enough, full stop. But then he wanted legitimacy and popularity, full stop. Perhaps those are not needed nowadays in the difficult times we face, full stop.